So this piece talks about peace and inner balance. All of my previous work before it explored the idea of man and animal and the balance between the two, and also the indistinction of the two. And then recently I really started to question why that concept really resonated with me, which led me to the wild woman concept, the wild woman archetype, where women are innately wild and yearning and innately dangerous to man. It led me down this path of questioning what it meant to me to relate to that animality within myself. And sort of that balance of what it is to be man and animal at the same time. So during all of this going on, I really had to question what balance in words meant to me. So this piece for the exhibition really talks about my inner peace, my inner balance. So I chose a composition of just my bust and partial head to open up the chest and that sort of exposure area where my heart, my chest, my neck are, letting myself be vulnerable. I worked with mold making on this, and all while I made the mold on myself, I'd have to sit for long periods of time while I was creating it. During those times, it really turned into a Zen sort of meditation time for me, where I would just sit and think through my processes and really connect with that peace in myself. So I also chose to go with black and white to reference that yin-yang balance, dark, light, presence in my work. So this is really my beginning of an exploration of my own inner balance. This piece, titled Equanimity, is really in relation to the exhibition called Equinox and its whole idea of harmony and balance. I started off by making a rubber mold, which is actually quite a fun process. It really picks up all the subtle details in the human figure. If you look at the lips and the skin, there's a lot of detail in that a rubber mold really helps pick up. After that, I created a plaster shell inlaid with burlap to make it a stronger form so that when I took it off, the rubber mold had something to keep it in place. Once I was done creating the actual mold and the shell, I poured plaster inside of it. What you see here is about 5 or 6 layers of plaster embedded with both burlap and support systems to hang it up on the wall. After I was done with that, I created this wooden frame to hold it up together. I purposely made the frame smaller so that the figure itself would come out and open and go beyond the walls of that composition. In the theme of equinox and balance on a larger scale, I used this piece to explore and translate my own balance and display that self and inwards balance.